So, Soki, you have to start the podcast with a really bad joke.
It doesn't have to be a
So-
joke. It just has to be something stupid.
Anybody need an arc? Because I know a guy. Do you guys even get that one?
No, it sounds like you're trying to do a SpongeBob reference, I think.
Taylor just got dropped from the call. Oh, there he is.
I was like, we all were just dead quiet. Like, not a single one of us made any inclination of the joke being funny.
Oh, I got
Alright,
it. I just
so-
had to leave it. It's just so bad.
Does anyone need an arc? Because
We got
Noah-
it.
I got it the first time. That's why I left. It was so bad.
Oh, Tyler left. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
I'm pretty sure you guys don't want me making jokes on your podcast because then they will leave.
The listeners will leave.
The subscribers will leave.
They all just like turn off their iPad or iPod. And just
It's like the first 10 seconds is like they break their iPod in half. Like, I can't handle this.
Yeah, it wasn't like me or Taylor or Christian or Tyler in the previous episodes.
Anyways, this is
Yeah.
episode 24 of the New Leaf podcast, and we have a guest, special guest. So
Already? Oh my god.
Oh,
So-
look, it's Christian's young adult voice.
This is the new podcast.
Oh my gosh.
Silky, why don't you
Silky.
tell the listeners about yourself?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah, go ahead, Selkie. Tell them, tell the listeners how you know us and why you love us.
Well, hello everyone. I am Silky Peddler.
all right, thank you, Tyler.
But
Are
seriously,
we
go on.
actually recording?
Yes.
Yes, we are. Go on.
I have been gaming basically all of my life, and I've been playing games online on Xbox Live for about 6 years now. I met the cast of the New Leaf podcast at different times, but starting about 5 years ago, starting with Taylor. My favorite games are RPGs and action games. So,
Any nerdy game is Sulky's favorite.
yes, I love nerdy games. That includes Final Fantasy, Elder Scrolls, and a very vague game that most people probably don't know called Eternal Sonata. That was for the 360. That was basically my favorite game that I've ever played. It was just a beautiful game.
All right, so you've been on a podcast with some of us before.
I have. I was on Your Weekly Dose for, was that a year that we did that?
I don't know. It was a while.
Around, it was like a year and a half we did our podcast, and then we rebooted it, and it didn't work. So,
And then we did a brand new one. We had Your Weekly Dose, we had Your Weekly Dose 2.0, and then we had Content
Yeah.
Collective.
basically it was just an attempt to do what these guys are doing with New Leaf Podcast, except it never really got off the ground.
And we figured out
Partly
that it was Selkie's fault, so that's why he's not a regular host on New Leaf Podcast.
Actually, it was definitely not my fault, because unlike New Leaf Podcast, we never had Taylor on our podcast, even though he was one of the founding hosts.
Yeah, right. I was always there. I was never, ever not there.
Whatever.
I do recall, like, the second episode, we sat there for like an hour and a half waiting for Taylor, only to find out after we did the podcast that he was at a party.
You make it
So-
sound like I go to all these mad, like, crazy parties when I was just at someone's house, like, playing video games.
Well, you're
You
right.
you always made it sound like that. You're like, if you weren't too busy out partying all the time.
Yes, because I am actually the most southern of our hosts right now. Not.
Where are you
You're the
from?
most
I
hated.
forget.
You're the most hated with me, Tyler, and Tanner in the party.
What? No, I'm not dogging on him.
I am
yet.
Not yet, Tanner.
You better if he's from Michigan.
I am from Michigan, and that is why I have the awesome Michigan accent.
A
So,
stupid one.
forgive me if I say coffee instead of Kofi.
Who says
Who
Kofi?
says Kofi?
We just say
People-
coffee, but okay.
That's like bagels.
Oh,
Yeah,
instead of
I got that.
bagels.
Bagels.
Blueberry bagel, my favorite.
That's what you hear if you go south of Michigan.
That's
I've
like
never heard that
everything in the
before.
United States is South.
I know, right?
Hey, so
Never-
what?
Now that I've offended basically all of your listeners.
I think
believe me, it's not like I've never done that before. So
Yeah.
don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Well, Taylor burps in every episode, so I don't. He gets annoyed by, or Christian gets annoyed by it, but I don't know if our viewers do.
They
well, I
like
hope
it.
not.
That's actually the most popular thing. They're like, please, Taylor, burp again.
Besides
That's
me going,
all the
saying
email,
rabbit
all the
troll.
emails we get. Yeah, rabbit trolls and burps are like, oh please burp and.
I just got
Please
tired
let
of editing them
Tanner-
out, so I just leave them in there.
All right,
So
but
Yeah,
anyways,
so-
we don't really have a really strict plan this week. We're just going to talk about the free games of the month for July for the Xbox One and Elder Scrolls Online and whatever else comes up. So what do you guys want to start with?
something
Free
that,
games of the month. Because
Yeah,
I don't know.
because
I forget what they are.
All right, so free games of the month. The new one is Assassin's Creed 4, which pretty sure I've talked about that on the podcast before.
That's like your favorite Assassin's Creed in the whole
That is
universe.
the best Assassin's Creed game in the series, and that is a great game to have free. Like, I saw that, I was like, wow, that was awesome.
Yeah, it was kind of like I felt like how PlayStation puts out the really good ones. I was like, wow, Microsoft, you really stepped up this time.
Yeah, they did for sure with that one. So, even if you're not an Assassin's Creed fan, play that one because it's the best one. It's not really like really connected to the other ones. You don't have to really know like the broad scheme of what's going on. It's helpful if you do. But it's just a good game. Like, it doesn't even have to be an Assassin's Creed game. It's just a good pirate game. So check that out. But the other one that I think was on last month, I'm not sure, but it's Massive Chalice. Did you guys play that one?
I did not, but I saw like maybe 10 seconds of somebody playing it when I was looking through, what's it called? Upload Studio. And it's turn-based, similar to Fire Emblem. And that made me want to play it really bad, but I haven't played it yet.
Well, I never played Fire Emblem, but it is
Great game.
It's a grid layout, turn-based strategy squad game. You get a certain handful of characters, and you have to move them around the map and eliminate all the enemies. And it's pretty hard. Like, it's a challenge. It's challenging. But it's a lot like XCOM, Enemy Unknown, if anybody's played that.
Mm-hmm.
But I actually
gonna
liked XCOM better because you could they had the cover mechanics in XCOM where Massive Chalice, you don't have that. You're totally exposed pretty much the whole time, which is kind of annoying. I think that makes the game harder. And
I'm glad you told me that that's what the game's about, because I'm probably not going to play it, because, I don't really like those kind of games.
and all your most of your characters are melee characters too, because it's like medieval. There's a few that are range with like bows or whatever, but most of them are melee, so you have to be right up on the enemies anyways. And then I played one map where a lot of the enemies would blow up when you killed them. So you ran up to them with your melee character and killed them, they'd blow up and like damage your character. So it kind of got annoying after a while. But what's interesting is you can like there's like a time mechanic where you have like your kingdom. You can build buildings into different zones. You can build different buildings for like researching stuff or keeps to like house families. And you can take like two of your characters, you can make them marry each other and then have children. And the children turn into new characters that have like certain traits from their parents. So it's kind of interesting. There's a whole like strategic element to that. I didn't get really involved with that, but you have to kind of continue the lines, like bloodlines, through the game until you win. I haven't played much of it, but that's the only thing that seemed really interesting.
Sounds like way too much in depth for what the game is.
Well, it kind of is, but like I said, I like a grid-based game. XCOM is the best game that I've played like that, so it's kind of like ruined all the other ones for me, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, XCOM's a different breed in that category because it has it's not truly like top-down experience in terms of like you get more of a feeling that you're on the battlefield with them and like you're telling them where to go in a way that is not
Are you talking
it's
about
more interactive.
the Bureau?
What?
Are you talking about the Bureau Declassified or something like that?
No, I mean the only XCOM I played was a demo and I enjoyed it. I wait for it to go on sale super cheap, but I haven't seen it in my price range yet.
Because there was an XCOM game that was like a third-person squad-based shooter. That's not what I'm talking about.
No, it's not that.
Okay.
It's like when I
didn't get the
Massive
sense that you were
Chalice in
on
it.
the battlefield with the soldiers in XCOM. I mean, it felt the exact same as Massive Chalice.
Yeah, Massive Chalice and them look the same. I'm used to Fire Emblem and Advanced Wars, which have a little bit different vibe. It's not as in depth with some of the stuff that the environments. What was the other one I played? Front Mission Evolved. That was a cool one too. But
That one was fun.
I don't know if the depth is necessarily a bad thing in that game though. Like
I'm not saying it's a bad thing. Just it's kind of it seems like it's a lot of time put into that mechanic where there's not much, like there's not a whole lot of content in the rest of the game.
Depth in like the actual game part, like the fighting, the combat, the gameplay.
Okay, I'm with you.
That makes sense.
Now,
Regardless, I'm still not going to play it, but that makes sense.
I didn't play much of it, maybe like 20 minutes, so I don't have an overall opinion on if it's a good game or not, but I can say that just from my experience, what you have here is a very Fire Emblem-like game, but from a Western perspective. So, like, what you a lot of times see in these games with Japanese developers, they make it very character-centered, where they create the characters for you. You're supposed to appreciate their storyline, and you don't want to see your characters die.
Right.
But with this one, you see more of the Western element, where you basically, from what I can tell, get to customize almost every aspect of it. So what you have is, if you have a great imagination, and then you're coming up with all these storylines for these characters that you can create, where you can have them herald from so many different bloodlines. Like, I didn't even take the time to look through all of the different I don't remember what they're called, but basically the bloodline that they can come from, what symbol they wave
Yeah,
with
it's
their
crazy.
flags. There was just, I don't know how many there was. There's well over hundreds, probably in the thousands, but I didn't look through all of them, so I can't say. It was 3,000. It might have only been 1,000. It might have been 600.
We got you. We
but
got you.
It was a lot. So,
Whatever happened to the days where they just put a gun in your hand and they said, shoot this person? That's just what I want.
that is why Taylor is our resident Halo fan.
I think we're all resident Halo fans.
Oh,
We are,
except for me.
but
And some of
Oh
us are
my.
Resident Evil fans.
Oh, nice reference. Or
I'm a
Contrast.
resident good fan. um, so,
You're such a loser.
really, what I would say is that it looks like a solid game, especially for a free game that you should have if you are on Xbox One and listening to this podcast. But it tries to take a very Japanese-based element of character death and transferred to a Western element of you created it and there's not really much story behind it unless you come up with the story yourself. It just doesn't translate well to the overall feel of the game. So, that's just my thoughts.
So, too nerdy for the nerdiest of the bunch. That says something.
That does say something. But
Well,
I mean,
I would have more thoughts, but I've literally only been playing Elder Scrolls for the last couple weeks.
We'll talk about Elder Scrolls because
we'll talk about it. Before you got off the monthly deals, I know that I've always been a fan of this game, and Christian, I know you and me, and I think Tyler, you've probably played it, and Selkie and Tanner, I don't know, everybody might have played it, but this month, Peggle 2 and all the extra stuff added onto it is on sale for $5.
Oh, yeah.
So
nah, I think maybe Todd, but not me.
But Peggle, and maybe Peggle 2 is in the EA Access, or was at one time.
I think
is,
it
but
is.
but this is the Mastered Edition, so it has like a bunch of extra stuff with it besides the one, like more than like the EA Access version has.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool.
So if you guys never, I mean, regardless, like if you don't have EA Access like Tyler does, or Tyler said, because we all have it. So if you don't have that, then
That's worth
definitely
$5 for sure.
it's worth more than $5.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So I would definitely take a look into that because honestly, now that I talk about it, I might actually see what more is in that one compared to the other one. I might actually buy it. You know, I don't know.
Yep. All of you listeners should definitely buy it and join Taylor in a peg party. That
A
would be
peg
good.
party. Wow, you made it sound so weird, Soki.
I was just imagining like the pegs at Cracker Barrel, like the little T's you put in the triangle.
Oh yeah.
And just gonna go have a party, a little peg party.
Everybody have those.
Or we can tie this in with Assassin's Creed Black Flag, and for those pirates that have a peg leg.
Oh.
Peg legs. A peg party. Everybody have the peg leg.
Your only ticket
and
in.
Also, you have to pull your leg off and like deposit it until you leave, and then you get it back. But also to touch on the deals for the month is because I think we don't ever talk about these, but the last couple months there's been some pretty good ones. But there's a game called Thomas Was Alone. I don't know if you guys have heard anything about that.
It's that red box, like the red rectangle.
Right.
It's
pretty
not
much it's like
actually
a-
at a red box, people. Just so you
Yeah, it's actually well, it's not even a red box only, Christian.
I don't know. That's just
You,
what I've seen.
It's usually $11. It's on sale for $5.50, and it's a puzzle game. Really fun, actually. The music, the sound is very appealing. I played a little bit of it at my buddy's house the other night because he got it with a lot was on sale. So I don't know. I think I'm gonna start buying the games that are on sale because I want to, and they look really fun. I know it sounds stupid, but
You gotta do something with your money.
I know, right? You can't save it. Who does
Gotta waste
that?
it somewhere.
Yeah,
Can totally waste this money.
yeah. Just follow my
Tara blows it on Transformers.
and Gundams.
Yeah, that's
Um,
cool.
I don't want to, Christian. I don't want to talk about only, what we. I kind of want to talk about what I also played this week. I mean, is that okay with you? I don't understand.
If,
There-
I don't
I
want you to
mean,
cry. I don't want
is
you
that
to
okay with
cry.
the rest of the hosts.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
we're having
Fight
this up to
night
a
with
discussion.
Taylor and
earlier.
Christian. Man, come on.
I don't care. I didn't know you played anything different this week.
I beat The Witcher.
Oh yeah, that's right. Well, don't
And
spoil it.
good story. All right, cool.
I know. That's all I want to say.
Wait.
So.
Do we need to report Taylor for Witcher abuse?
Wow.
I don't get it.
I beat The Witcher.
Oh, I get it. Wow.
I haven't
right in
played.
my head.
I haven't played much on it. I've been playing like pretty much
Everything else.
Smite. Like I've been playing a couple.
Yeah,
of
but you
them,
know what? The other day you said this, and you were totally 100% correct. You said I can pick up The Witcher whenever I want to, kind of thing, and just continue playing it.
Yeah.
And that's what I did like Thursday night, and then I started playing it, and I said to myself, I started getting really involved in the story like really quickly because I pretty much beat all the side quests, and I just could not stop playing it. So I think I went from like level 27 to level 35 within like a day's time on The Witcher, and that's like a lot of experience.
Wow.
So, but yeah, that's what happens when you don't have to work. So on Friday.
Well, is that
But yeah,
all
I
you
wish-
want to talk about?
I need you to be. Oh yeah, I wish more people would play The Witcher so I could talk to someone about it. But since no one,
I'll try to play it. Well, I oftentimes don't play many games during the week, like during the weekdays. So when I get on during the weekends, I'm playing multiplayer stuff. So, but I do want to get through The Witcher a little bit more.
yeah, and I also wanted to talk about I wanted all of us to sometime find a good chunk of time to play some Smite as well, because they added achievements into the game, and now the game isn't kind of just playing to play it, because as I like to get achievements. So it was kind of annoying the time that we would put into that game, and I didn't get any achievements, and now they put that update out.
Well, I mean, Smite is so fun. I didn't even realize there was no achievements. I was just playing the game.
I did.
But yeah, so it's cool. Like you do something crazy and you get an achievement for it. Like what the other night when we were playing, we got some achievement called Comeback where
You were getting like smoked,
yeah,
and
like
then
almost killed.
and we made this like final push against the enemy, and we killed all of them in one push, and then we just took all the tower, the Phoenix, and the Titan in one go, and we ended the game like right there.
Wow.
And the achievement was like, win a game when your team is down a combined total of 4,000 gold or more.
Oh wow.
Which means they over leveled us by a little bit, and we still it was really rewarding. So
Yeah, no, it was a good feeling.
yeah,
But yeah, that game is awesome. Like I know we talk about it like every week, but I'm not a huge fan of MOBAs, but Smite is just really fun.
I'm not at all. If I say you should play it, then you should probably play it.
That reminds me of
And-
like go ahead, Selkie. I will let you have the floor.
Well, I was just gonna say, unless Taylor says that you should play a game that is above your age rating.
Oh my gosh,
If we
we
have,
don't have age ratings here.
If we have any 12-year-olds, then you should definitely not play M-rated games. Just
Oh
saying.
my gosh. All right. Anyways,
There's
Tyler,
nothing-
say something important, Tyler, to overwhelm what he just said.
Okay.
Well, it's up to parents to decide on the kid's gonna get the game or not.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
Um,
A lot of parents are like, "Oh, look, Grand Theft Auto. My child's 3.5. This will be good. This will give me some
Yeah.
time away from the kid." Uh,
Right?
no, but in all seriousness, I was thinking when I think of Smite, it makes me think of For Honor, and that really looks a lot cooler as I look back on it after E3 and stuff. I really didn't dive into it too much just because there were so many other cool things at E3. But the For Honor, when I looked at it and then I compare it to Smite, I'm like, that's actually a really cool concept that may pan out pretty well. It has,
Yeah, and the thing that sucks is you're totally right. There just wasn't enough of it. I don't think at E3, because it does look really interesting. So I agree.
I'm worried that it's going to be like a $60 game, which it probably is, but it doesn't look like from just based on that one multiplayer event that we saw. It looks like something that should be free to play or
Right,
$15-$20, get you something
it does
in the
look
door.
kind of MOBA-esque.
It does, yep. And it does look like it. If that's the basis of the game, you're right. Maybe it shouldn't be a full, $60.
I don't think, at least from what we saw, I don't think it's gonna be a $60 game. No
I
way.
hope not.
Me too.
Yeah, it could be for gold members or without. So
That'd be cool. I don't know.
I don't know who's got an Xbox that doesn't have a gold membership.
A lot of people, I'm sure.
What's wrong with them?
people who live in the country don't have internet.
They're probably not listening to us either.
Well, yes, but I know them, so.
Well, you
That's
should
weird.
get them to listen to us.
But they're
Well, I know
probably
them.
not able to listen to us.
Do they have cell phones?
I know them.
Yes. Taylor apparently knows my family.
Anyways,
Yes, let's get back to
the
topic.
pauses.
Rabbit troll.
This is Victor's fault. This would always happen on your weekly dose.
it is.
It's
He's
never
right.
happened on New Leaf before, ever.
We always have something to talk about, and then Selkie joins, and we're like, what I'm thinking in my head is, what is Selkie about to say? Because I'm used to Christian and Taylor, but then
You just
Selkie
never know.
Yeah,
There-
and so I wait. I'm waiting in expectation, and nothing happens.
Especially
Ever.
in the last episode, Christian Tyler down the rabbit hole. Or troll.
He did title that. That was my title.
You heard it from Tyler first. I am that crazy cousin that hangs out with you that you never know what embarrassing thing he's going to say in front of your friends.
I do have those cousins. I just don't talk to them or hang out with them, so that it never happens. So,
Is there any?
well, I was gonna say me and Selkie could talk about. Well, we could all, me and Selkie, and I guess you could talk about Elder Scrolls, unless Tyler can give his input as well.
I've watched some gameplay of it, and based off of that, I can say that it looks to me like a time pit. It could be really cool and fun, but it looks like the world is so in depth that
It is.
I would.
Well,
I don't know. I feel like I'd invest a lot of time in it and not get enough as a result.
I just think it's
Yeah.
cool exploring the world with your friends, and they'll be slowly adding more and more areas. I just
See-
really want them to add Morrowind. They don't have that in there yet.
Yeah, because I mean,
Um,
we've all. I don't know if we've all played them, but I mean, I played Oblivion and Skyrim, and the world's always cool. But as me, the kind of player I am, it was just kind of always boring playing by myself, all the time. But then finally, earlier, me and Selkie were just playing and doing quests together. It's cool. I think, in my opinion, to be able to experience Elder Scrolls with other people.
I think that one thing that shocked me about Christian loving Morrowind and all that stuff is great, but playing that, I had that game because I was like, "Ooh, this looks cool. I'm going to dive into it." On Xbox, I went and put that game in, and I think if could you install games on your hard drive back then,
What?
or it was
When?
just music?
Just music
On the
on
first
your
Xbox?
on the Xbox
Yeah.
original, yeah.
No,
Yeah,
it was-
okay, I
no.
forgot. So, basically, I would put that game in. I would wait 10 minutes for it to load.
yeah.
I'd play for like 30 seconds. I would have to enter like either a home or go to the next area. Another 10 minutes of loading. So Christian is probably the most patient man I have ever met if he could play through that game.
Well, I
Yeah,
never,
sounds awful.
I never finished it because I was like, that was back
Oh
when I was.
wow.
He
Well-
was stuck in a loading screen.
No.
Yeah, he's like,
No,
I
no,
can't
no.
handle this.
He couldn't handle another hour, so he's a 1 hour gamer.
No, that was back when I was kind of too young to figure out a whole lot of stuff. So I couldn't advance past a certain level in the main story. But I played tons and tons of the side stuff. Like I explored the entire map and ran all over the place. But
So
it
you
was
don't have
just
to go to any loading screens.
No,
Okay, you just went
no,
around the
that-
open
like-
map.
past the initial loading screen. It wasn't really that bad, at least not for me.
It was like YouTube buffering for me. It was like, oh my gosh, this is coming up at the weirdest and most unexpected times, and it's not going away.
Well, it did
Huh.
like every door you went in, it had to load, and that got kind of frustrating, especially if there was like a lot of stuff in the house or whatever you're going into. But for me, I don't know. I like playing the game so much, but I just had fun like making new characters and going down to you like the first town you went in, and then you could go a little ways down to the one city, I think it's called Balmora. It was the one that was separated by the river going through the middle. And I would just like kill people and steal their houses and like set them up as my base and go like hunt gold and pile all the gold up on like a table, put like candles and stuff so it was like glittering and everything. I'd like make this little
Yay.
treasure hoard. And like that's all I did. I just ran around and like did stupid stuff. I didn't advance the story. I think I did like the Assassin Guild, which was the Morag Tong, wasn't like the Dark Brotherhood on the Morrowind. And I did a lot of the it wasn't the Fighters Guild then, it was like the Imperial Guard something.
Dun, 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 dun.
But yeah, so I did a lot of the
Dun,
side
dun, dun.
stuff, but I didn't really advance a whole lot into the main story. Mostly because you had to go into those Dwemer ruins a lot, and the Dwemer guys in there were like so hard to beat, and I would always die.
They ruined the game.
So I just stopped going in there.
Oh my god.
Wow.
I'm gonna lose Skype again.
Yeah.
So yeah, I never actually finished the game, but I love the world. I loved like messing around in it. So when Oblivion came out, I was like a little older, so I could kind of figure out stuff better. So I did finish that game like almost 100%. There was maybe a few side stuff that I didn't do, but yeah. So Morrowind is still probably my favorite. Well, I don't know, maybe not favorite, but I guess the most nostalgic, like game, like scenery. You know what I mean? So it would
Because it's
just
the first one you played and you were
Yeah.
the youngest, so,
So it'd
obviously
be-
it's gonna be the most nostalgic.
Well, it'd just be cool to like go back to that area in Elder Scrolls Online and kind of run around and explore.
They'll probably add Morrowind
Yeah.
though. I feel like,
Yeah,
Big
no,
Well-
they
DLC
will.
pack.
For
yeah.
any of the Elder Scrolls like fanboys, they would argue that you are in Morrowind, just only one province, because like Morrowind is the country of the Dark Elves.
Yeah, that's true. I think is Vivek in Elder Scrolls Online?
Yeah, Vivek.
Vivek, yeah, it is.
'cause-
Yeah.
Tribunal.
Vivek is like probably the biggest city in the Morrowind province. So yeah, part of
There-
it is, but not like you can't go to like the beginning area or some of the other cities. You can't go. At least I'm not aware of. You can't go to the mountain. I forget what the mountain's name is that the Daedra guy was at.
Just to be clear for our listeners, Vivek the town is not in Elder Scrolls Online. I thought you were asking if the person Vivek
Oh no, I was
was.
talking about the town.
Okay, so
What about
Vivek
that
the town
totally
is not.
changed the outcome of that conversation.
what about
Yep.
Ebonheart? Is that in?
Evanhart is in Elder Scrolls Online.
Okay,
Wait,
Ebonheart
the
is.
person, Evan Hart, or is this the city?
No, Ebonheart
No,
is like it's
Eben. It's
yeah,
like Ebenhart.
Ebenhart.
Ebonhart, but it's Evanhart.
Ebonheart. Yeah, that's the Imperial stronghold in the game Morrowind. So yeah, parts of it are in Elder Scrolls Online, I guess, but not the full place. I think it'd just be cool to run around that area again, especially like going around with your friends. So that's kind of. I was a little disappointed when I didn't see that in there at the start, but yeah, like Soki said, I'm sure they'll add that in as DLC. And I haven't been to Cyrodiil yet, the PvP zone, which I've heard is like crazy in there. Everybody talks about how awesome it is. So I think a couple of my guys are leveled high enough to go into there, but I haven't been in there yet.
Yeah, so to answer, is it a time dump for anybody who's interested in it but maybe isn't sure if it's the game for them? Like I say with basically any game, a game is as much of a time dump as you make it. If you want to get to the highest rank, just do all PvP stuff and be part of a guild and constantly be leading people, then expect to spend more than a healthy amount of time on it. But if like Christian has it, and he's by no means spent an unhealthy amount of time on it. He just gets on for a little while, runs around with his friends, and then gets off.
See, when you said time dump, and then we're talking about like if a game was like life or I forget the exact comment now, but I'm gonna play to you what happened in my head because you said timed up, and then I was like, life is like a box of laxatives. You never know what you're gonna get. So
We're going down our rabbit hole right now.
yeah, so when you heard me giggle back then, that's what that was about. But I just need to come clean, get that off my chest.
No, it can be, but I haven't spent a whole lot of time on it since it came out on the one. I've just been kind of on there every so often, but it's still, it's a fun game. I like Elder Scrolls, and it's cool to have that like in a MMO setting, which I'm not normally a fan of MMOs, but I can stand this one, especially since it's on Xbox. Like I said last week, I'd rather play a game on my Xbox than my PC. Plus, it's a free subscription, so it's got that going for it as well. Yeah, and I don't know if I even would have bought it, but I had it when it first came out on the PC, so I got a discounted digital copy on my Xbox One and transferred all my stuff over. So if I hadn't,
nice.
It was like $20, so I was like, yeah, I'll go ahead and get it. But if I would have had to pay $60 for it again, I probably wouldn't have got it, at least not right away.
Yeah.
But as it is on the one, it's a lot different than what it was when it first came out on the PC.
Better or worse?
Better. They've kind of cleaned up the graphics a little bit, I think. I know that's weird coming from PC to Xbox One. And my PC is not like a bad PC. I could crank it up pretty high. They've changed
PC Master Race.
They've changed some of the like some of the areas, like the beginning area, Cold Harbor. When you go and sneak up and have to hit the Eye of Sauron with your sword, that's different. Like, it looks different than what it was on the PC. The PC was just like a thing you had to go up and activate. You didn't have to hit it. Then the gate that you go and the Daedric guy talks to you, and then you can't go through the gate because it's like got magic on it. That's different. It didn't look like that at all on the PC. And I've noticed that's kind of like the biggest part, that whole intro section. But there's a few things I've noticed in the world too that are a little different. Some of the way the menus are set up, it's different. But yeah, like I said, it's all changes for the better. So it's really well done. I think it's it's been very well done for a console. I know a lot of people complained because the action bar was kind of limited. Like if you watch World of Warcraft videos, they've got hotkeys like going all up and down the left side and bottom and top of the screen. It's not like that on this. It's just one action bar. You have like 6 or 7 abilities you can use at a time, and you can have more, but you have to switch them out. So it translates well for a controller.
I would actually argue that if you're looking for a PC MMO, then don't have it on the console, but it really lends to the experience by only being a limited action bar, because it's not about, in PvP at least, in PvE you really don't have to worry that much about things to the extent that I've played, but in PvP it's not so much a sequence of buttons as it is you're actually feeling like you're dueling with someone and fighting to win. Whereas
so have you done the PvP?
I have done the PvP. And I can talk about that a little bit more, but I would actually say that having the fewer abilities means it's more up to strategy and a little bit less up to, I have all these moves that I can just slam my keyboard and destroy you with. Also, once you hit level 15, you get to have an alternate weapon, which allows for a second action bar. And you can switch weapons with the press of a button, so you actually have at your quick disposal twice as many as you start with once you hit level 15. So
I just don't know how that'll work for me if I'm like, because my character is a two-handed, heavy armor. I'm like kind of a tank type guy right now, so I mean, I'm not really sure what other weapon I would use, but.
And that's where
a dagger.
It's...
That would be perfect for you.
It's ultimately in the same vein as the Elder Scrolls. You have the freedom to have a second two-handed sword as your alternate weapon, so that you can just have 2 different sets of skills.
Yes.
Computer hacking skills, nunchuck skills.
With that, you have
skills.
You have a total of 5 different abilities with one weapon, so you have a total of 10 if you are quick with your weapon swapping. That is, especially on a controller, that's basically the right number, because I don't want to have to press like X, L, LR, LR, up, down, start to be able to do a move. I just want to press a button and it happens.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, there's a ridiculous amount of abilities, skills you can do. I mean, there's pretty much like the main sets of armor and weapons, light, medium, heavy. And then the weapons, you got bow, you got damage staff, healing staff, you got dual wield blades or whatever, just dual wield single-handed weapons. You got a two-handed weapon, you got single-handed
A
and shield.
3-handed weapon.
But so you got like the main things, but then I mean you can really customize exactly what you want depending on what class of character you used, what weapons you use, and what I like is it's not limited. Like you can be a sorcerer. Like the other day I made a sorcerer and I use two-handed, like 2 dual wield weapons. You don't have to use a staff. Like you can use whatever weapons you want with whatever character and class, because the skills are like separate. You have like for a sorcerer, you've got your sorcerer skills, and then you can have all like other skills for your two-handed weapons.
Yeah.
So it's really you're really free to kind of customize whatever kind of character you want. You're not limited in like your basic MMO roles like in a lot of other ones.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is nice because, I like to be a pretty predominant sword fighter, but I also, I can use I have a few magic moves at my disposal, as a fighter. So I thought that was pretty cool. It helps me in combat. So
Yeah, he's a Dragon Knight for all those who have played it.
so I have like this
Yeah.
move. Like I can start a fight with an enemy. It's kind of like Scorpion's little blade that he
Get
sticks
over.
into people. Yeah, that thing. It's like that, but it's a chain, and I wrap it around them, and it burns them as it pulls it towards me.
Oh, so it's Ghost Rider.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much actually. So
Boom.
I would also add that you have the freedom to do anything with any class, but that doesn't make the class equally efficient. So, like, you can dual wield with your sorcerer, but that does not make your magic super efficient. You can use destruction stabs with your, I don't know, Templar. That doesn't make your Templar super efficient. That just allows you to do whatever you want, because that's really what an Elder Scrolls has always been about.
Well, I think that is a lot of information, and especially as me being the only one who hasn't played it, it's not over my
Wow.
head. I'm following in the terms of, I understand that a Templar is a class and a Dragon Knight is a class, but some of that was just deep, bro.
yeah, I mean, you have to. A lot of the understanding comes with playing. Obviously, like I didn't know how to do a lot of the stuff until. I mean, you see all these different options right when you start the game up, but until you actually, like every other game, I mean, you don't really understand how to do things until you actually start to do them. So
Right.
I would say that in general that discussion was aimed towards people who've played Elder Scrolls but haven't played Elder Scrolls Online yet. So
Gotcha.
I mean, they've done a really good job at taking an Elder Scrolls game and turning it into an MMO.
right.
I mean, it's if you're wanting to play it because you think it's an online version of Skyrim or a multiplayer version of Skyrim, that's not what it's going to be. But if you go into it just thinking it's just an MMO, you would be correct. So it's kind of like, I don't know. I think if you're fans of the Elder Scrolls series, you would like it, but if you're like really opposed to MMOs, you probably wouldn't. But like I said, like me, who's not really a fan of MMOs, I enjoy it.
yeah, and I enjoyed it as well,
Yeah.
and I'm not really a big fan either. So
I would say, and you guys can correct me because you've played Scrolls if I'm wrong, but I would say that unlike a lot of spin-offs of core games, that Elder Scrolls Online is a fitting next Elder Scrolls, as opposed to some games where it's like they make an MMO or something to go along with it, and it's like, wow, this sucks. When is the next game coming out? Because I don't like this. Would you agree that this is a fitting next Elder Scrolls, not like replacement, but
I don't know.
it's not really a next Elder
No,
Scrolls
it's-
either because
it's
happens.
different.
Yeah,
well, okay, it is
I
different, but it's enjoyable as Elder Scrolls. Am I
Yeah.
right?
oh,
I mean,
well,
that's
yeah.
true.
No, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
They kept. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, yeah, it's nice, just like what it is as an Elder Scrolls game on the next gen console. But at the same time, I'm really, really looking forward to the next Elder Scrolls,
Yeah,
like the main game.
I didn't mean to imply that it's a replacement for the next main game, but it's not like some games where they completely took out a whole race of people and they just messed with the story and the lore just to make it however the different company wanted to make it. It is an Elder Scrolls game. It's just not the core Elder Scrolls game.
Right.
I mean, it's just a good use of the franchise instead of, like,
Yeah,
I mean,
it's-
Halo has tons of different games involved in the Halo universe, but they all do pretty well.
I
Yeah,
think
that makes
Elder
sense.
Scrolls, they're doing good to branch out with this. And on our E3 show, we talked about the card game that they talked about during the Bethesda conference. So it's cool to see that world kind of expand to different genres. And they did a good job with Elder Scrolls Online.
And I think this is one of those games where, like Halo, I mean, we've talked about it before. I mean, if you don't put the games out after the original one that are kind of still interesting, I guess the players lose interest, and especially as, I mean, Morrowind came out over 10 years ago, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, people who might not have been alive when Morrowind came out might be, playing Xbox a lot all the time now, and then see this game, and play it, and they put a good game out to get new fans and not just keep old ones who see an Elder Scrolls title and then they want to buy it.
Right.
You
Well,
know,
I mean,
which-
I know a lot of people that have never played Morrowind or Oblivion, and even before those, I mean, there was 2 Elder Scrolls games before Morrowind that I never played. So, like, most people just know the name from Skyrim.
Mm-hmm.
Which, by the way, if you haven't played Morrowind because you weren't born at that point, then I do not recommend you play this game because it is above your age rating.
I don't think this game deserves an M rating. I don't know why it does.
Yeah, I
Except
don't
maybe,
either.
maybe, I don't even know. There's not really.
Is it? I mean,
I
the
would-
content.
It might be language, maybe, or maybe just the dark themes. But yeah, I mean, there's nothing like gory, at least that I've noticed.
Could it
There's
be
no blood.
like the story,
That's
like
what I was
how
thinking.
Rocksteady did with Arkham Knight?
Yeah, I mean that and maybe language, but like I said, I haven't really noticed much language. So
Yeah.
I would definitely say that this is above T. Mate, if I had a 16-year-old, I would probably definitely say, yeah, you could play it, but it's definitely above T. Like, if you go into certain inns, you can find NPCs, like a male NPC laying on a bed while a female NPC not wearing a shirt, wearing a bra but not wearing a shirt, stands there dancing.
what kind of places are you going in the game?
Yeah, for real.
No,
No.
but hey, but listen. In wasn't Morrowind rated teen?
No,
Yes.
I don't remember, honestly.
I
probably
think it was.
I don't see why it
Well,
wouldn't
if it
be.
was, there was a inn that you could go into in one of the cities that had like basically the same thing. It had female NPCs with no shirt on, with like a bra type thing on, dancing like up on a stage, and like all the servers and bartenders were all females with the same attire. So I don't see how that's much different than what you're describing, unless
Well-
standards have increased since Morrowind, which I doubt.
I doubt that.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, that's definitely suggestive, and that was why I was referencing that specific thing. But there is a ton of other things, including sexual talk. Like, if you read some of the books, like Thief of Virtue was one of the books that I was reading, it can get pretty graphic. I mean, especially the lusty Argonian.
Oh yeah, that's true. Well, that's been in every game though. That
Well,
wasn't.
you're right. But I'm not saying so much based on the ESRB rating, but just if you're a parent with a 12-year-old who is even kind of sheltered, then maybe think about not letting them play this game, is more of what I'm saying.
I just looked
Or
at Morrowind
just-
was rated teen.
Or you can hopefully pep talk your kid beforehand and just explain some things so he doesn't have to learn them through video games.
Yeah,
Yeah,
really.
that's
Yeah,
true.
that
Parents will
might
take the
be
time to do that. But hey, you know what? If not, so be it.
But all in all, there is a ton of stuff that makes this game M, and I haven't discovered it all. Christian apparently hasn't discovered it all because of things that I've seen that he hasn't.
I mean, it's an MMO, so it's a huge.
There's an M in it already, duh.
Right? It's a double M. Double M. You know what I'm saying?
So, I would really just say, hey, if you're a parent, be aware that it is a huge game with so many opportunities in that largeness to earn its M rating.
I mean,
They
it's the
usually
same,
earn them for good reasons.
right.
Right.
And it's the same thing with every online game too. You can hear other players if you turn the area chat on. You can hear other people talking on the mic, and as we all know, it's hard to tell what you'll hear come out of somebody's mouth on an online.
It's usually
space.
very bad. It's usually
And that's one thing that's kind of frustrating, in my opinion, is because me and Christian were playing when I first put it in the game, and it was like, I don't know, all I could hear was all these kids talking, and I was just so
Well,
much
something
to
was
take
messed
in.
up because we were in a party chat, so you shouldn't have been able to hear them. But you can turn it on and off if you wanted to.
And
Elder
that's what
Scrolls. Go ahead.
What I was gonna say, that's the one thing that kind of. No, and Christian, the thing is, you have to actually, I think, turn it to your group chat in the game.
Well,
Even if you're in a party chat, you know what I mean, like to not hear the people.
Elder Scrolls actually has a really interesting feature to help with communicating with the guilds in PvP. So you can listen to two different chat channels, and you can only speak in one. So Taylor was probably in your group chat, and he could speak and hear the group chat, and then only hear the area chat, and that would explain what you guys are talking about. But
that
I
just
don't
made
know.
no sense.
Yeah, I don't
Okay.
understand either.
No,
So
I've
there were-
I
never
mean, I
encountered-
understand it. I just don't. I don't want you to explain it again. That's what.
So no, now I'm explaining again. There's 5 chat channels. Let's just
Oh my
say
gosh.
arbitrary.
No,
There,
Selkie, we understand there was a wrong
Okay.
chat channel or something happened.
Something's wrong with the game.
Right,
Well,
no,
we're
it's
with you.
definitely not wrong with the game. It's
Well, I've
just
never had
wrong
that
with
happen to me
Taylor's
before.
usage.
Oh my
I've
gosh,
had it happen
whatever,
a few
Sophie.
times.
Just judge me.
It's
okay?
not the
Just
game,
Shut up.
it's you.
Give you a 5.6 out of 10.
Fine.
JK.
Too late. You've already torn my
I
heart.
hope I said that with love and not with hate,
You said it with distaste.
distaste.
All right, so Tyler Chainer, you have anything else to add?
Tell us about your week. Tell us about your family. Tell us about, because you haven't been playing the games you want to play
Nope.
because you have family. So
It's. I'll let Tanner go first. Tanner, you
No, you go ahead.
Oh, look
Tyler.
at that!
I'll-
Look at this. This is so kind.
Tanner,
Oh.
make sure you cut him off again this week.
Yeah. I
I'm just kidding. Don't do it.
Oh, the joys of the prior podcast. So here's the better question, Tanner. What did I do this week?
homework and work.
That's about it, and he's got it right because I did play Arkham Knight for 2 hours, and
Wow, that's a lot, dude.
I know. It's because I specifically took an hour out of my day, and I was like, all right, Tanner, I told you we were going to play today, so here it is. This is an hour, and we progressed in the story a little bit, and so we're actually not done with the mission that we're on. I will just say that it involves the Ace Chemical Factory right at the beginning of the game, and that is where we're at, and so we're not finished with that. It was good. It's still fun. It's still there was some puzzles in it that could be very confusing if I mean, thank the Lord, like somehow like I figured it out pretty easy by accident, like because I'm one of those guys that if there is something that looks off in the game, like there's like a hook sticking out, and it's not like a background I don't know if you guys can tell the difference, but the level itself,
You mean
Kinda,
like you're talking about like what's accessible and what's not, like just looking
right.
at it.
Right, and so
Yeah.
I look at that and I think like there was this item, and I was like, you know what? I think that's an accessible item to do something with. So I got into the Batmobile, and sure enough, it was accessible, and I was able to. I was really excited. I thought I was going to open this new area, and it was going to be like a Riddler trophy, and instead it was just what I was supposed to do in the mission, which was a little bit of a
Oh wow,
bummer.
that's depressing.
Well, it was. I was
Yeah.
so happy. I guess I could tell without spoiling it a little bit, but basically, Batman has to go from the top floor to the bottom floor,
Whoa,
and you
spoilers.
can't
Oh
access
my
the
gosh.
bottom floor. Yeah, boom. You can't access it without because there's no way to get into the elevator, so you have to pull the elevator up using the
Using your-
Batmobile.
Using your RC remote control.
Yeah, that you have to. It was kind of
That sounds cool.
obnoxious because you have to switch between Batman and the Batmobile like 5 or 6 times, or at least that's how many times I had to do it. But basically, the objective is you get Batman into the elevator, you lower him down with the Batmobile, and then that's how you get through that part of the level. And so I was severely disappointed when I had Batman in the elevator, and I wanted to detach the winch so that it would drop Batman with the elevator in a free fall. And I was really excited about that because I wanted to see what would happen. And as soon as I pressed the button to detach the winch, Batman says, "It's probably not a good idea for me to let go of the winch while I'm in this elevator." And it was just like, oh, they thought of that.
It's like a mental note. Like
Yeah, that's what
Note-
that's what
Note to
happened.
self: don't detach the elevator while I am in it.
Yeah. I mean, that's really how it is. It's like a mental note, and that's how the whole game. Like, there's times where Batman, it's not him talking; it's just his collection of thoughts that you hear, which is pretty cool. It's just, I was a little bummed, and then I looked on the forum that the what is it, Reformed Pub Gamers, whatever. And somebody else posted that they were disappointed because they couldn't troll Batman there. And I
I didn't see that.
was quick to join that. Yeah, it was really good.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
So
we're hopefully to get more time whenever Tower is open to get back on there.
Lord willing, I've got tons of homework to do this week. And then next week, my work week changes where I used to be on a very consistent work Monday, work Wednesday, work Friday, Saturday. Because I'm taking more classes and so more credit hours, I cut back. I cut back one day of work. So, and what I did was I made it so that I'm off on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Nice.
And I work the times that my job truly needs
Wow.
me the most, which is Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
That's pretty good.
So I'm excited about it. But it starts next week. And so this week I am behind in school. And so I will be, as soon as the podcast is over, nose back into a book. I probably should eat at some point, but that's more information you guys need to hear. But oh well, it just
Yeah.
the thought was there. So
Batman sounds like it's really fun. I don't know. Go ahead.
Sorry,
Taryn gonna like disagree with that?
No, I'm saying it is, but when you're trying to, it's a little bit tedious with the Batmobile missions. That's
what
That's
I
been the general consensus. I haven't gotten to that point yet where I'm just like really frustrated with the Batmobile. But the only thing that frustrated me is that I had to use the Batmobile. Let me rephrase this. I kept switching back and forth between the Batmobile and Batman for that elevator part, and I did feel like I had to do that too many times. But I think that partially that's just because I didn't know what I was doing, and so that would play into it a little bit, where it wouldn't have been as bad if I would have understood that, oh, that's what I do. But So the general consensus is, though, that the Batmobile is not a great.
It's obnoxious.
Yes.
Yeah,
And so
it like
I'm
it would have
wondering-
been cool if it just left it like, okay, let's add a couple scenes you driving the Batmobile, but mainly Arkham City.
like
New
it,
stuff.
it gives Batman a lot of power. Like the Batmobile is very, very strong and powerful, and it gives a very unique dynamic to Batman this time. Instead of before he's all stealth, this is like, you know what? I need to blow this wall down in order to get in here. Now he just, shoots a bullet at it out of the tank and just and yeah, you can save that soundbite for later. Just
Yeah, like I was saying, it sounds
so
like a fun
realistic.
game. I probably won't buy it, but I listened to the last Reformed Gamers podcast episode, and Logan had a guest on from the Gotham Central podcast,
That's a good podcast.
and they talked like in depth. It was kind of like a spoiler episode. They talked a lot about
And
the
don't you
game.
dare.
Yeah.
No, I'm just
Christian,
saying, I'm not gonna
Tyler's
spoil it.
dogging on me.
Tanner knows how the game ends already.
No. I'm like, who I'm following on YouTube still hasn't gotten the part where it reveals Arkham Knight or
Tanner.
the end. But that's about it.
No, I'm
Okay,
just
good.
saying, like if you finish the game and you like Batman, go listen to that because it was really good. I mean, I listened to it because I probably won't buy it, or if I do, it'll be a long time from now. But it was cool, like listening to those guys since they're big fans of it, talk about all the ins and outs and stuff. So definitely check that out.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But that's all that I had. We're kind of getting a little long on time, so we can wrap it up if
Well.
you guys want.
There wasn't much going on with me this week, except for, just I got some stuff later going on and trying to, keep up with my YouTube stuff, and I got businesses coming up here soon whenever San Diego Comic-Con hits, and that's pretty much about it. Except for Rabbit Troll.
That's good. I wanted to take a second, just like make sure everybody know. Like, I don't know if you think about it often enough or whatever, but take time to like thank God for what like He's given you the ability for. Like, say you're good at math or good at science or good at basketball or video games, or you love them. That's how we are here. But I just like want to take a second and just like thank God for just the amazing gifts that He bestows on us. And I know that's all deep and whatnot, but just needed to be said because it's awesome, and especially learning new talents as you go. So if you're in school or anything like that, just like keep God in mind, and it's just really cool to see what He can do.
Nope,
sure.
I agree. I try and tell Allison that all the time because her in school, like she's so smart and it, like blows my mind. And I'm like, whenever you like, I always tell her like, if you ever complain, you always there's so many things, just a reminder of that, and I try and remind myself, there's little things too that God gives us. I mean, like big and little, they're all the same. They're all still gifts. But yeah, it's funny you mentioned that because I'm pretty sure I just said that to her like yesterday or something. So, but
Any final thoughts, Soki? You still awake?
Selkie,
I
close
am
us
still
out.
awake. And I'm not going to close us out because this is my podcast.
I just asked if you had final thoughts. I didn't say it.
Yes, but you see.
yeah, so okay, we didn't ask you to close us out. Trust
Oh,
me.
Tyler.
Well, I mean, Tyler kind of did.
I kind of implied when I said, "Hey, Selkie, close us out." I kind of implied that I was.
I did
was
not hear you
I
say
was
that.
talking over Tyler, so I didn't hear what he said.
Oh, okay. I didn't hear that either.
If this was my podcast, though, I would tell you all that you're beautiful children of God. And you should definitely subscribe to us if you have not.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Subscribers for the win.
Well,
Stop being weird.
By the way-
that's the Selkie key phrase.
Yes,
You're
it
very
is.
Beautiful children of God.
Also, as celebration of me actually being on the podcast, I do have a Smite code to give away.
Oh my gosh! Well, no one's taking
Yeah,
ours.
nobody's.
Yeah.
Nobody wants ours, so you can read it.
But you can add it to the pool though. I mean, we'll gladly take
Add it to the
just,
file.
just read it out if you want. If somebody wants it, they can take it.
Hey, Selkie, I want you to
What?
read it out and the best. Dang it! I just lost the word for it.
The best dang it.
No, like the alphabet, but it's like the code, the alphabet code, like Alpha, Bravo,
song?
Charlie, Delta, Echo, Foxtrot,
Oh,
Hector,
Selkie doesn't know all
Indigo.
those.
It's like alpha,
Yeah.
alpha phonetic,
Aye.
alpha phonetic.
Unlike you, I don't go to the army and learn that stuff.
Okay, I'm leaving.
Unlike you, I
He's
don't
gonna-
go to
he's
the
gonna fly
army.
out of here.
Yeah, he's
All right.
Oh, he's gone.
Wow.
You offended.
He
the man
really
from
did
the Air
leave.
Force.
No,
By
he's
the
back.
way, guys, I love the
taking
Air
his
Force and everyone.
F-15 Eagle, and he's gonna take some missiles after.
Hey, before we say the code, I did forget. I don't know if anybody noticed. There was another episode on our feed this past week. It was kind of by mistake, or at least it was on my podcast app. I tried
You
to.
mean a beer episode?
Yeah.
I literally it posted and I looked at it and I'm like, huh.
No, I tried to on Spreaker, the website we use to host our audio, you can make like different shows, and I figured if you made a new show, it would generate a new RSS feed, and I thought it did, but for some reason it popped up on the New Leaf feed, so I'm trying to get that sorted out onto my blog. But if you enjoyed it, that's part of the Theologic podcast that I'm starting up. So that's why that was there. It wasn't on purpose. It was a mistake, but I was like, whatever, it can stay there.
And that was the new beer podcast.
Yeah, the beer loving heretic podcast.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
the best one ever. Oh my gosh.
Yep. So, anyway, the
Mm.
code is Juliet 4 Delta 6 Foxtrot 6 7 X-ray Kilo 3 Gamma Charlie 3 6 Queen 3 Foxtrot 3 Turtle Foxtrot 2 X-ray 2 Zulu. That is your Smite code available.
Well,
I gotta
Selkie,
give Selkie
I
a round
am
of applause
impressed,
for getting
Selkie.
through that.
Whiskey,
Yeah, that was,
Oscar, whiskey, man. That's just
It's you missed Quebec and Tango, not Queen and Turtle.
Can you just imagine that?
Well, he
I
was
like
on.
turtles.
He must have had some pizza, and the turtles gave it to him.
Actually, they did. If you've seen the movie Wind Talkers, they actually did use turtle as a
Tactical.
it meant tank, but it was in the language of the Iroquois or something like that, or the Navajo. That's it.
Navajo Wind Talkers, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yep. So that was a something that the Japanese, I think it was during World War II, that they couldn't pick up on it, and those guys could talk all day because no one knew the language.
Am I too turtly for the Turtle Club?
Cowabunga!
Yeah, so
That's in the
that is my
podcast.
gift to you.
Thanks for that
Thank
gift.
you for having me on.
Yeah, thank you, Selkie. Yeah, it was great to talk to you again. Maybe you can crawl back out of your hole eventually and talk to us again.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
No, I'm too busy burning heretics.
Wow. Well then.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean everybody's got a schedule, so
Yep, that's
Yeah,
true.
he-
I mean,
he's got that, and plus probably Final Fantasy, and probably Kingdom Hearts probably later.
Yeah, actually, now that you mention that, I'd probably have to burn myself.
Why?
wow, this just
Wow.
got really deep.
It did.
That's awkward.
I must have told myself of my sins. I'm sorry.
That was
How
a
about-
reference to Final Fantasy.
Nobody
Oh,
got
see.
it.
We don't.
Cool.
Yeah, I didn't get
Not
that.
even Tyler got it, and he's like the biggest
Well-
Final Fantasy nerd here.
No, I'm not.
It's
Yeah,
not a
No, we're with
reference.
Kingdom Hearts more than Final Fantasy.
It's not a reference of Final Fantasy. It's a reference to the fact that some people say that Final Fantasy is of the devil.
Who says that?
Well, it's- You and your mom.
People
probably,
from
right?
the 80s.
People
People
from the
say it.
80s had rock and roll to deal with.
Yeah,
And
that
Dungeons
was of the
and
devil
Dragons.
too.
And Transformers and G.I. Joe.
Don't even get him started on Dungeons and Dragons. That's like that's like on the same
Yes.
level as playing a Ouija board.
He has
Now
to
that
get
one,
his book-
that one I won't
He has to
touch.
get his book out. He has like a giant 5,000-page book of all of his accusations on people.
Can you imagine if it was like a scroll, just this massive?
Yeah,
massive
he writes
list?
he
Santa
writes your
Claus is
name
like,
down.
"Whoa."
And so maybe that scroll of evil things is so large they call it the Elder Scroll.
Well, now we've got it all tied
Well,
back
I
in.
guess you really couldn't, I guess you really couldn't end it any worse than that. So appreciate it.
So I
Silly
finished
whacker. What?
statistics.
Finish
Yay.
statistics.
What you should have done is finish Batman. That's more important to talk about on the podcast.
This is why whenever I had anything to do with school that was pressuring me, I would not talk to Taylor for a week.
What? Why? What's that to do with anything?
What does that have to do with
Because-
Taylor?
You always
I-
offer such bad advice.
I have great advice, Tucker. You just look at it differently than I do. You look at it with both eyes closed. I look at it with one eye open.
What?
Okay,
how
that's
I
not
see.
awkward at all.
You only see half. You only see half the evil. You don't see the full evil in it, so it's not as bad.
What are you talking about?
So you think that's pretty funny, yeah?
Soki's got that. Yeah.
Are you sure you guys want me on your podcast?
Actually, I'm not.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh well, I want you on. Okay.
Well, I'm open to it, but I don't know about Tyler.
I don't know if I starred that, but I thought it was funny.
Oh,
It was
wait, you
mainly
gotta
for
get another
Selkie.
one for Selkie?
No, I've got 3.
Yeah, he had to get a My Little Ponies special edition action figure.
Yeah,
for Sophie.
yeah, it's the Brony edition.
In the
I
Brony
love
edition,
that
yeah.
one.
It comes
The
with its
thing-
own little plastic brush, so you can brush the My Little Pony hair.
So, Selkie's already got one. He doesn't need to. Doesn't need
Yeah,
to.
he already has every single color of the rainbow. So
Oh, so he has Skittles? That's what you're saying?
don't tempt me.
Yes. I just tend to not taste the rainbow anymore. It's become way too awkward.
It didn't have to be awkward until you said something like this.
I know.
So yeah, I need to go too because I need to take my grandma to my brother's house, and she's
Alright, so
probably mad because I was talking to you guys and not
Hey, tell her this is
taking her
important.
to my brother's house.
Yeah, I
Oh my
gave
God.
up an
Somebody
hour and a
get
half.
out of
of
here.
I gave up almost 2 hours of homeworking, so I feel terrible now.
You know what? I gave up almost 2 hours of playing with my new Mac, so
Right? I can teach you a little bit about Mac. Not too much.
I gave up 2 hours at the gym.
Yeah, no,
Right.
you didn't.
Right.
You trying to be me?
Yes.
Be Selkie then, Taylor. You got this.
I gave up 2 hours.
I
of
gave
playing
up
the
2
Elder
hours
Scrolls.
of playing Elder Scrolls and Magic the Gathering with Tony. So my grandma told me to take her over there, but I wouldn't do it. I was too busy talking to you guys. So now I have to go get 40 lashes.
Grandma, I'm in a PvP zone. You can't just log out.
Here goes Chris.
Yeah.
Grandma, chocolate milk.
What is it, Christian or Taylor? It's a happy hour over there.
Alright, see you guys.
He's like, I'm out of here with that. Beer podcast number 1. Purposefully put on New Leaf's website.
Is this sponsored by Sam Adams?
All right.
That was good.
Okay. Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.